The light from I don't even know how I did it so many times. It's just simple math again. My dad bought, like, I just want to make sure people know in the end, like, it could not possibly be my fault because the my dad knew, like I explained to him, obviously you can't get someone a bed. Like, he just went out and bought a bed without me even trying it, and he bought a car that I said not to buy. Literally everything is like the opposing thing. Um, these things, I don't even know how to explain it anymore. It's like we go back, we go back all these years. There's no way to make anyone understand because the context is necessary, and I can't go back so many years and explain for every single person that's new. Like what my parents did to me, like poisoning me with my body, like it's just terrible. And then yeah, to actually have people pile on me and like not understand what I went through in the medical field, and so many decades of abuse rather than just letting me have agency and like showing what I could do, if not restricted. Um, I gotta fix this bottom part. I keep doing everything by eye, but this is the only room that had like somewhat decent lighting in it. And then my dad bought a bed and just put it here before I got here, um, to just sabotage every chance I had. The only room that's like furthest away from the noise, like maybe would have had a chance to like manage in, that made sense with like proper lighting and other. Then I have to go back into my, like, what happens is I get a taste of just any sunlight or anything, or I move from room to room and I'm reminded by each damn thing my dad set up to aggravate me way too much. And there's no way around it. Like, it has to be all accepted. Like, uh, that my dad was never gonna actually care to listen at all. Um, it was easy stuff to listen to. Like, really, it was like only like a handful of things that kept sending me back around in circles and like getting so overwhelmed. Like, I kept trying to fight. I kept trying to fight for to resolve things, and just kept fighting. Like, I just didn't give up. And then I kept fighting and fighting to resolve things, rather than, because I know I've been everywhere. I've been in the place where I've accepted what happens. This is why I have this great wisdom or and knowledge. Um, I'll explain it to you really quick. What happens is people, uh, they'll accept that much of the world is futile, and like everyone that gets abused and knows that something's wrong and they're not able to like do anything about it. If you learn the lesson and you don't deny it, this is the problem. There's so many routes that go past this, and then I can only explain so much before I kind of get lost, and I don't have the my brain power is probably not. I probably have like mechanics of my parents' like garbage mechanics genetically, but I like surpassed so much in terms of like learning that I had like, my brain kind of had to catch up to some extent, but I still probably have like garbage mechanics genetically. But good luck for me explaining, getting to anyone to even. It's such the irony is like you don't even get to reach anyone, but like you don't want to anyone that you don't want to reach anyway, and like the whole world is like, what's left of it, except people that learned to adapt to whatever circumstances and their life, and that leads. It's just futile to open your mouth, basically. And then what happens is you get these people that prey on people who basically, if you don't have, it's just fucked, man. Every damn thing gets used in some way or another and exploited, or almost. I just want out of it. It is a prison, essentially. Like it has to be. 'Cause literally, all of it is futile, regardless. And like the majority of people are exploited and sold for something. Only like little small bubbles. Even the bubbles, then it's just crazy because people then it's so weird. People have like this like they can only think so far, so then they don't think like the groups of people that think in the that align for one moment. What can happen in time, like where obviously certain people in the group are going to go a certain direction and they're not going to think as far, and then other ones like it's just hierarchy of it's Darwinism as well, and just human nature, and like it never ends. Someone's always going to think outside, and that's what I do basically. I think of like everything, and then it's just what in the fuck was that? What was that? Oh, of course there's like fucking what in the hell? And there's like fucking weed people, plant people. You know what? At least I'm gonna get my camera. look how dark. So I this room doesn't get much light in it anyway from there, but like I put that and I put that like so, but then you got this is the tiniest room and it also has this horrible smell that never goes away. Then you got this one that actually has light in it that I couldn't move into since day one because my dad he bought another bed and just like, meanwhile he's the type of person who will never tell he does these things and then he doesn't tell people that he did this or explain anything, and then people took advantage of me because like literally this is my whole entire life this way, when my dad like did these things. It's like, never mind the last, like this is the last, these are only more recent things in like a 40-year experience of this like this evil guy. um uh so it's yeah, my mind like goes blank with the amount of like pains and things that are brought up for years now. It's just like, just that what happens is you get slapped like multiple times again if you're right like I was. Look at, like, this is the only room that actually looks like somewhat like clean and nice with the lighting. I could actually just like, it would be nice to just, it seems like it would be nice just to lay down in here with the light. Like I'm not sure what to, you had the lighting on this side. Maybe if you put the bed. It's so fucking sad. My dad just like stole the whole opportunity, like right out from under me. From like he couldn't ever let me ever have a chance. He had to come here. Even 40 years later, he couldn't listen to me. Like he had to come here before I got here. Like buy things for no reason, blame me, like complain about money, and then like literally makes no. Do you know how much money this cost? You know how much money a car costs? Like he makes literally no sense. He's wasted all the money since I was a child buying things that I say not to buy, and then he actually blames me on top of it. So at least I just want, if these are the things that end up doing me in the end, I want people to know, like, I tried everything with this guy and he's just never listens. He never ever listens to me. Regardless of how much money I could save, he wants that. Like he wants to just complain forever. That's all he wants. He wants to be the victim, and that's just what it is. Whereas I've been trying to resolve things, but people won't see that, and I don't know. I guess because maybe that it is that bad, where this world is the only things left is these different groups that only fit into these particular boxes, and because I don't fit in a box, then I don't get anywhere to go. That's, and then there's no one that's gonna be honest with you about it, except for like, yeah, like soup. There's got to be only a very few left of us that are like, that actually develop themselves and like actually are honest people that aren't part of some like weird group that's selling something to someone else. Or maybe it's not even that bad, but like the reach is so like, the thing with social media is they've managed to get a stronghold and then sort of like, yeah, it's a shame. It's just bad people that have kind of, if I had control myself, there are ways at least you can protect some of these, like there are ways around some of these things that are not being implemented. That's kind of the sad thing is like for as much there's a lot that's like in the end it's futile anyway. And a lot of things are futile, but there's so much that can be done at the same time. It's not either or. It's not black or white. It never is. It's just that people don't think far enough. They don't spend enough time. They didn't have to spend enough time like I did. Like I literally had no other option but to think of these things, and I was literally forced in these positions where I was doing everything I could on my end already. So, and then I couldn't die. I wasn't allowed to die. Like, even though it made perfect sense and like just been doing what makes like, yeah. And but yeah, this is the world we live in where it's just a mess. It makes sense because, again, it's like who survived? Who survived in this world? And it probably is dangerous to speak just honestly, like I've been doing, like, because there's like groups of weirdos that will like come and like try to say you're this or you're that, and you need to be locked up for like just. It's sad, man. The world we live in. Like, yeah, sad. Imagine though, like if everyone. That's the thing is, there's always it requires this world requires that juggling, and if there were actually people like it is possible to change the world if you had like everyone like the way that I am, where they've been to every degree and then they have the empathy to care, to not be like those other people when it's they know it's possible too. Like for me, I fully know and accept what the human being and the human condition is. Whereas these other people are, they won't acknowledge this. It goes back to acknowledgement, which is just it's not again. I've mentioned this before. My analysis and conclusions on people in general. I think it's these traits are common in all people to some extent that my parents have, but my parents just have it like aged, and it's just yeah, it's more visible and you can't hide it. And the thing is, then the focus. I don't know, man. You know how much energy I've had to spend just dealing with being in the dark when I could have been in a light room and like just a pleasant space. I had to, but instead I was for how many months now? And literally everything I've said has fallen on deaf ears. Um, it was simple, like 2 plus 2 mechanics. But then, yeah, like with all the things I proved, I shouldn't have been here past 16. And then I proved like way beyond that, which is even, there's not enough words or energy or anything to ever express. Yeah. If only I could at least just move the bed. I wish that the neighbors would have actually listened to me when I mean they were gonna help me with that, but then they're too careless as well. Like they can just she did. It's like what all these people do, which I don't blame her because she's not my mom anyway. But you can't also just be like you have to see a therapist when I already proved like the whole that shit is ridiculous, and people that won't admit that therapy is fucking ridiculous. At least they either are there's something wrong on their end themselves, or or they're not intelligent enough, maybe, or but yeah, it's crazy, like what I've been able to prove. So, and I proved that I fucking capitulated too much, and I got manipulated by people that people will use anything. Um, basically, it's like when I was forced into like pain. Then what happens is people only see like you being emotionally and angry, and then rather than like actually accepting like, okay, these are because of these specific things that his parents already knew were like big issues for him, and they're actually taking those things and making him like stare in the face of it and be stuck in it for like all day and night. Um, when it was so easy to just listen to me and not put me in that situation. Like, and to like even things like the walking distance in the place I'm living, like to get from to the fridge to my bed, it's more than double the distance that it was in the old apartment. Uh, like all of these things could have been easily avoided. To not be able to open the windows, and when there's like a really bad smell that's like stuck there, uh, like eventually you spend enough time in the dark. Like obviously these things you need to have light, water, proper nutrition, like exercise, movement of the body, etc. Um, like over time it adds up. Obviously, it's just basic necessities for health. Meanwhile, like I speak on this stuff just openly and just honestly, and I understand it completely. And people, you have like millions of people, billions of people, like listening to just fake gurus and stuff, uh, because they have the outfit on and they'll fucking just pretend like they know all these things when it's just bullshit. So, but people won't. They don't. They'll never understand this, and they'll never like just learn. Like someone like me is actually the truth. It's sad again. It's like that's how twisted this world is. It's yeah, people that don't have the discernment to know that I'm the truth, or that all these other people have grifted and they're selling things. You can literally know just by because I'm not selling anything. I don't sell anything. I don't make any money. I'm poor as could be, and like I don't go like here buy my thing, buy this. I just been speaking honestly forever. Um, yeah, it's just a shame, man. But at least it's accepted. And then at the same time, that's why you get someone like me. It's like I still have to spend the daunting thing is like I still have to be stuck in this room until, or I'm gonna have to spend like I either decide to spend the last of my energy doing this thing and accept this, or do I do this? And I also have to be careful with this, and I can't put myself in that situation. So I gotta, but I also have to expend a lot of energy to overcome these certain things, and people will never. You can't even like the amount of like life experience and intelligence it takes also to even understand these certain like particular things. Like it's a bummer, man. I just I wish I could talk to people that actually would understand. Like I've had I've just been completely alone with nobody potentially understanding me for many years now, which is, I mean, it's bizarre. But at least, I mean, I guess it's more realistic though, because like in the past, I used to feel like people can understand, and then I didn't even know like I was being manipulated also in ways like people didn't actually want to speak to me for my. They wanted like other things. It's like, oh God, how my whole fucking life, I never even got to like learn what it like these people have all these other like stimuli that I didn't have because my parents stole those things from me that were supposed to be just like natural, and I had to live like numbed as could be when I remembered what it was like to feel before my parents did those things to me. And there's no say. Why can't I can never get my life back before they did that to me and like have my body work the way it did before that. It's very hard for me to live with, and then I'll never have the finances to like I can't the whole thing is screwed. That's how my dad was able to get away with all this stuff. And then to think him and my mom are still trying to play this like financial thing where they're blaming me, and like it's literally everything. You can see through my text with my dad, he was still doing this like financial game. Um and I can it is a dude, I'm just so like lights and sound, man. It's just a shame, man. They were able to fucking do these things to me for so long. Like lights and sound and sleep deprivation. How how did no one fucking like come and be like, "Hello, Randy's actually right here." Like it's a testament to like it's just what the hell, man? It's like, I mean, I've even watched my teeth just get bent, smashed apart. My dad would still be. I know every single thing my dad would say, and everything is a gaslighting, which is so. For me to even be alive with everything my parents did to me, and I think what it is like I already accept everything, but then I push myself to go to such extremes to deal with the pain of playing guitar or something like that, and it puts me back to some degree. But at least like mm, I've made a lot of progress regardless. Like even like I've still made progress as much as I've still like had to endure so much. Like I still made progress. And the world has become like some of these people are so fucking twisted, and you'll like see But and then anyone that is ideologically like captured, which is there's these little bubbles of people like online in the different groups, and then I wonder how large this spans into just mainstream society. But it's so dumb because how do you like I'll see people. I just had this interaction with this one dude who teaches like some biology stuff. Eh, Like, let me just put it like as simple as this. If you're still buying into any left right paradigm and you're critiquing some political guy on either side, like I want nothing to do with you because you're that means everything that you're teaching is in question because you'll fall for like the dumbest manipulations. Um, that means your discernment level is just not good enough to be teaching me anything, unfortunately. So um, that's why I'm actually intelligent. Like that's why I have actually good information that works. And yeah, so yeah, it's a shame to see like there's just so many people that don't have the same integrity, and they'll it's always either they're part of the sales themselves and they're manipulating people, or they're naive or they're too naive, and in that case they shouldn't be teaching anything. Like um, some of these people are just like desperate to get views and stuff, so I mean it could be either that or they're part of manipulating people. They don't really have much empathy. They can see like that some people are like many people are dumb, and then they'll sell to them, but then they would never even admit, like these are the type of people that would never admit that I'm actually smart or even smarter. Of course, not smarter, but they wouldn't even admit I'm smart at all. Um, and then, like, literally all the damn things my parents were holding me back with. Like, there would have been so many things I could have used that would have been easy. That would have just like my life would have been a piece of cake in terms of like just having enough money. Uh, it's, I mean, just basic stuff. So then it makes me wonder. Yeah, really, who knows? I'll never get to know like what could have been or who I would have been if I was in different circumstances. I just know what happened. I rarely even get to have enough focus in a way to even speak on the things, even in this, because I'll get distracted into. Hmm. There's only so much left. There's only I could move the bed like one more time, but it has to be done like today or tomorrow, or else there's just no more time. Like I tried with the neighbors like multiple times. They were nice the first time, but then too much time went by, and again, I don't blame them, but uh, definitely had to be done already. Um, and the noise here is generally good once I have the HVAC off. It's pretty calm and quiet, like very much so compared to where I used to live, which everything is a reminder of what my parents did. Like all they had to do is listen. See, that's the thing. Also, is like I have even the trauma just looking down at the screen, and I see like numbers on people viewing. Um, but now it's not possible because I have it on unlisted, right? So it's actually kind of perfect. Everything YouTube did. Now they updated it so you can like edit the videos of live videos and stuff. They never used to have that stuff. When it's, of course, they do everything after everything in this whole world. I was spot on. And then my dad, it's always my dad does that fault for like making me, even though I was right, I proved everything. And he was always the fucking one guy that kept making me go around in circles. Like, what a piece of shit, man. how can you do that? Like, I was literally right. It's like this one guy is worse than everybody. That's what you even know. Like, is this guy even like my parent? Like, what? Maybe this whole fucking thing to even ask the questions, and then you're deemed crazy. Like, people will ask like legitimate questions about reality and like details like that actually makes sense to ask. And then you can have, but it depends also, because this is the thing, is I think of everything. And there's not many that people that do. And by even saying that, I stopped myself before I started articulating all the other different details. That's what tends to happen. And then I literally don't have the fucking energy or the mechanics to say it all. That is a big part of it. And that's beyond like, what is that? Is that somebody standing? I don't know. That's beyond the pains and traumas and that's also why I can never like find the other people. They'll never hear me say what probably needs to be said in addition, because I can't. I don't have that much space, or. And then I'm constantly in a cage here where my focus is being stolen, and like either in the present, like if there was a purpose to explaining, man, imagine all these possibilities. That's why it's so tormenting. The butterflies laid eggs again, the monarch butterflies. That's a beautiful thing. It's just, things like this, for example, like I went years of my life where I couldn't even feel pleasure. I couldn't feel anything good. Like even being in the sunshine, I couldn't feel good from that. And then because of like things like being on painkillers and adapting to being in the dark and all these different things, uh, like actually being on so addicted to painkillers for many years, like ruined my whole wiring and how I felt things. I had to suffer so much and learn a lot to change that, right? Got no credit for it. What was the point of that? There's something, I don't know, something so painful just blocked it out again. I really wonder if there, like, people would never understand, like, they would never conceptualize the amount of energy it takes to even, like, get me to keep going when I already proved. They don't understand, like, I've proved pretty much everything. Oh my God. And then if you prove everything, and you go around again in a circle and you're not getting any or enough progress, like that's torturous, man. Or you're not even being able to feel good in the present moments because you're like still, and even in ways like with the lighting in the fucking bedroom, like what are we doing here? Or having my OCD triggered. These are like the easiest things to like avoid, and somehow my dad just set it up that it's like there's no way. Hi. Immediately. The chickadee just came. Dude, it's what they do every time. I didn't even hear it because I had my headphones on. The chickadees, they're so cute, man. But I don't know. What was I gonna say? Oh, hey. That's so cute. Hi. Is you? Yeah. They only left. He's stuck with me for like fucking 10 minutes here. Basically, that was, and then only when I fucking put my camera towards that way. Then it left. It'll come back again. But yeah, like, oh, the butterfly, the monarch butterfly came back again, and how crazy! Like every time I witness it laying the eggs, it comes back and it flies right when I'm there, and then it doesn't. Like that's it for the day. Now there's like way too many monarch eggs again, but at least this time I know how it goes, and there's no way. Like if there's so many eggs laying, it's not my fault. If I can't blame myself and panic and go panic all like that's what I did last time. Is like every time like I started panicking and like caring too much about each and every, like each individual caterpillar life, like it was like life or death. Like every single thing that I always say, like all integrates and connects. I swear to God, I feel like there 100% is a blockage in meeting like other intelligent people because like this stuff is so simple. I'm it's just amazing. Like when you get is people know up to a certain extent, but like it's almost like none of it is integrated. And maybe that's why they can't have people like me even existing or reaching other people. I don't know. There's a billion different possibilities, and that's why it's quite difficult as well. I proved enough on my end. Um, yeah. So anyway, I was just gonna document that, and I'm just saying, speaking some. That's it for now. Would be nice if this stuff actually like meant something. But I suppose in the end, whatever happens, I did my part, and I'll continue to do whatever I'm supposed to do. So that guy can be crazy and blame me is forever, but like that's the thing is like it's been people have only seen the opposite part, and I only got like trashed my whole life. But it was actually my parents were doing all the blaming from the beginning, and I just pointed out what was happening. But it didn't matter. And then for like, you saw how I got like overwhelmed the past year, like prior to like this last month or so, I'd say, things kind of changed a bit. Um, that's how my parents were always able to exploit me. Um, I mean, it's just simple mechanics. If someone's in too much pain or like gaslit, or, you know, there's a number of things that can do that. It's pretty easy to tell when somebody's like, well, not for other people. For me, it's easy to. So this seems, yeah, there's so many things. I'm not even gonna finish my sentence. That's a wrap.